So, just been picked up the seed from the guys at Motorworks. Fantastic service from them, I've got to say. Obviously we use them because moors are flat out at the moment. Dropped the clutch down with the car to them. I think it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon by the time the clutch kit got there. Went down this morning and not expecting it to be ready. And they said, oh no, we stayed there till 9 o'clock last night and got it done for you. So that's absolutely brilliant. What a turnaround. So yeah, brand new clutch in it. As I said, it's a nice looking car, this one. Drove it back. It's much better. That biting point was ruthless before. You'd slightly lift your foot and it was engaged immediately. So new clutch, much better off on it, and very reasonable charge for it as well. So yeah, there's another recommendation for a garage there, Motorworks in South Moulton. So meanwhile, the guys down in Moors did manage to squeeze in an MOT for me on the Mini, and that's why that's gone. The Mini's already been picked up. The Mini went through just needing a bulb. Another fantastic subscriber's car. The advantage of you guys giving me these cars, well, not giving me, selling me these cars as subscribers, is that your cars are so well looked after as a general, and you're 100% honest with them. And it means that the winners are the customers buying the cars because they're getting cracking cars. And that lady was absolutely loving the Mini. So that's gone to a good home. She has brought in a part exchange. We've got a 2009 Ibiza 1.4 Sport that's coming in part X. Nice car, actually. Well, they are nice cars. This isn't the best example. It's sold apparently to her when it was raining and she didn't notice the bit of paint that needs to be done here. I mean, other than that, I think it'll actually clean up quite nicely. She's just had it MOT'd and it only had 2 advisories, which were the 2 dust boots for the track rod ends. Don't know why they wouldn't get that done, to be honest. But then, you know, unless somebody tells you, don't any better, do you? Interior wise is alright. I think it'll all clean up alright. Whether I retail it or not, I'm not entirely sure. They are popular little cars because they're like the Polo. Well, they are the same car as a Polo, aren't they? But they're cheaper. You couldn't get a Polo for the same money as this. This is probably, what, a 3k retail car? I would imagine something around a 28, 2995 kind of thing. Looks like it's got new tyres all round. Service history isn't great. This is the customer that said to me that she thought because she was doing local journeys, she didn't need to get it serviced. So I don't think it's had a service for about 3 years or something like that. I did check all the fluids and the oils and that, and they're midway down on the oil. So it's not been run dry or anything, but it definitely needs a change now. I told her with her Mini, with that fantastic service history, she had to promise me she was going to get it done every year. She said, how long will they last for these? I said, well, if you service them every year, they'll last forever and a day, but you can't do what you did with the Ibiza, so she's promised to get it serviced. So this one here, I have put a message out to a dealer friend of mine, because I've got a lot on my plate at the moment, to see if I can just trade this straight out. I could fit it in the row of stuff because it is kind of really where the market is right now. And like I say, with that MOT, I just get the Moors guys to do the 2 dust boots on it and double check that MOT, do a service on it, paint that door, be a nice bit of stock. So we'll see how it plays out with that. Well, I'm going to put shouts out for both garages actually, because Moors have really pulled out the stops to get this car to me this morning. They came in first thing this morning, like really early, finished the cam belt off on the Polo and got it MOT'd so they could get it back to me first thing this morning. So that's brilliant. I can take this, give it a quick detail again and get this out the door. And then the Motorworks boys, again, I gave them another job because, like I say, Moors was so busy. So Motorworks, I had the RAV4 which I sold trade, but I did want to put front discs, front pads on it before it went out because they were squealing even though it was going out trade. I know the chap who's having it. And I wanted to do oil and filter on it as well. So I said to them, is there any chance, you know, after being a bit cheeky and getting the Kia done quickly by them, that you can squeeze in the RAV4? And I went, yeah, no problem. And again, they turned that round super quick for me. Gave me a ring within the same day. To be honest, I even missed it, to say it was ready. So the 2 garages between them, like I say, you know, been absolutely brilliant. And this is if you are flipping cars and you're going to go up in volume and you're not doing the work yourself, you need to be able to work with good garages. And that's why when you find them, don't be arse on them. Don't be an arse when it comes to pricing. Don't try and pin them down on ultra low pricing all the time. You've got to remember that even though I'm a trader, if I'm trying to get them down on hourly rates, they could fill that with consumer work and get full pay on it. So I've got no right to be pinning them down. And also, if you want your work done fast, you can't ask for a lower price point as well. You can't go around saying, I want it tomorrow and I want a lower labour rate and I want my parts super cheap. It doesn't work that way. Even however much work you're throwing at them, respect that they're running a business as well. So if you find good garages that are willing to work with you and understand the sort of urgency with the retail, you know, pay them what they need to be paid. And, you know, if you think they're overcharging, just don't use them again. But I have to say, in both cases, you know, they're absolutely fair price on it. And like I say, I never argue the toss on pricing. It's not up to me to tell somebody else how much they should be earning. If I'm unhappy with pricing, I simply don't use people again. But yeah, massive thumbs up, obviously, to the Moors guys, because they're just absolutely brilliant. They made such a difference to this business by picking cars up, dropping them off, getting the MOTs done and getting the service done and doing it ultra quick for me. But also fantastic to find the Motorworks guys and how good they are. So we'll put links as always down below. For any of you that are in North Devon needing work done on your motors, we'll put links down below so you can speak to the lads. Not that either of them will probably be free, because they're now going to be rammed with work, because we've got something else coming that, well, I might try and get my hands dirty on myself, but it will probably end up going out a door. It'll become more apparent later on in other videos as to why I'm outsourcing quite so much at this exact moment in time. But we've got a Brabus Roadster. Look at that bad boy. Now, you know I love the tiny little hot hatch type cars. We're taking it to another level with this one. Look at the little bad boy. Right, I moved things around a bit because it was pouring with rain. Yeah, so here is the smart Roadster that we bought from Vicky and her dad. Vicky sold me the VW Up as well, which I've done nothing with. Hopefully I'll be a bit faster with this. So they've got an really interesting collection of cars. To be honest, we could probably talk for hours on motors. So much to chat about. Yeah, really interesting collection of cars. So yeah, thanks again for thinking of me when it came to this. So moving this on, because it was getting a little bit of a struggle for Dad to get in and out of. Although it's a lot of fun. And yeah, thankfully he thought of me. So Brabus Roadster. So you can get the normal little Roadsters, and then you get the Brabus ones. Now obviously Brabus are known for, if you don't know, I say obviously, maybe you don't know, Brabus are like Cosworth to Mercedes. Well, they're not like Cosworth to Mercedes, are they? Because they've got AMG. So who would Brabus be? They'll be like Alpine to BMW, I guess. You can buy stuff from Mercedes just with little Brabus badges on it and little engine chips, or you can buy proper full-bone Brabus where they take the engines out and they modify them. They put wide bodies on. Type of cars that like Tom Cruise will buy for a couple $100,000. They're mental. So the little smart car Brabus was kind of one of the more tamer versions, where I think it was just a ECU modification on them, but you also got these massive dished what do you call them, machined, having a mental blank, polished rims, diamond cut, that's what we're talking about, isn't it? Oh, that's what I'm trying to say, I think. But yeah, these huge deep dish rims with much wider rear tyres on. They modified the ECU to give it 101 brake horsepower, so in a car this small, that is pretty nippy. There's a few other features on it. I think because at the moment, it's actually not running. And it's running, because obviously I can move it about, but the alternator seats, which apparently is super common with these, I guess they get really wet at the back there. So we can't run it up much, because that also runs the water pump, and we don't want to replicate the chimney issue, do we? So I've got an alternator there. I need to get the alternator on it, and I might have a go at doing that myself. We'll see. It should be a lot of fun to try, because it's fiddly, but I do like little challenges like that, and it's something I could do in here in the dry. So once I've done that, I think we'll do a proper video on this, because I think the road test is going to be fun. But yeah, another little interesting motor to buy. It's cool having that and the S2000 in the showroom at the same time. But yeah, like I say, I think we'll do a dedicated video to that, because we want to get the alternator in, and then we want to go for a little hoon in it. But you can take these things up to, already thinking this way, you can take these up to 125 horsepower, and they also do, these are automatic, you can actually get someone who remaps the gearbox as well, so the shifts are faster. Their shifts are 30% faster, and then you're sticking, you know, 25% more power in it. Makes for a little wicked machine. Hell of a track day toy, I'd have thought. But we've got to focus on the main sales stuff first, haven't we? Oh, the inevitable one, before I get loads of messages from people thinking they're going to steal it away from me. Values wise on this, probably somewhere between 5 and 6, I'd say, for this. They made them in small numbers. There's not many of them about. They're the most valued ones. If you look around, I mean, the wheels alone are worth an awful lot of money. And this one I think has done, about 70,000 if I remember correctly. I'll double check that. I think it was about 70,000. And we've got some Brabus mats in there and some other bits and bobs that have been bought for the car. Loads of big history file, lots of history on it. So yeah, I'd have thought somewhere between 5 and 6. So I-10's back from its MOT. That we needed front discs and pads, I think we did on that, and changed the window regulator out. The customer has opted to pick that up in a week's time, so you'll see it in the back of the video for a little while. I think they're transferring money from a high interest savings account, so it takes a little while to come through. It's slightly frustrating because obviously it ties up space, but you'll see something has gone from that space. The Polo is outside because the Polo is sold. That's getting picked up this afternoon. So we are getting very short on small cars again, but we have had one just come in. It's raining, so you're going to have to bear with me because it's not nice out there. Hood up. So here is the Toyota Yaris in from part exchange on the Polo. Nice little car. I'll probably take you out for a short little drive on it because it does feel different to the other 133 Yarises I've had. Obviously I've had the earlier shaped ones. This is the latest shaped one I've had. So yeah, this came in part exchange from the Polo. Got 2 keys for it. Nice spec one. So we've got the remote central locking, we've got the alloys, we've got the lower fog lights, chrome surrounds on them, the chrome wing mirrors. Round the back here we've got the LED style lights on the back. I don't know if this is a special edition one or not, to be honest. Obviously 5-door makes it more appealing to everyone. Bodywork wise, it's in really good nick, so all down this side there's nothing to be done, just needs a really good clean. All the alloys look good. Luckily we've got the slightly thicker profile tyres, which seems to have protected the rims. Yeah, it's all good down this side. Looks like it'll clean up nicely. Along this side's all good. Again, the alloy, even the near side curb alloy, looks in good condition. I think the only paint we need to do is just on the corner here. It's fairly light, so we'll get that done. And then it'll be minted because inside's in really good condition. Again, I think it just needs the lightest of wet cleans, if I remember rightly on this one. Is it unlocked already? There we go. So inside it's got quite a funky interior on this one for one of the Yarises, with the white trim on it. We've got electric front windows, electric mirrors, Bluetooth, volume controls and stereo, air conditioning, 6-speed box, which is going to give the good fuel economy on this. We've got a nice radio screen on here with a reversing camera. This one has a reversing camera as well. I'll just show you that a sec. These Toyotas all seem to start to get reversing cameras, didn't they? After a certain age, excuse me, they started to, there we go. So there's your reversing camera. Like I say, all the white is carried on in the seats. They just need a little bit of a wet clean on the sides there. But all the plastics are in good nick. All the gear gaiter, it's leather, all that's nice. Oh, it's around the steering wheel as well, yeah. That's all in good condition. 87,959 miles. Now she told me when she sold it to me it had a full service history. And when I got the car I said, oh, doesn't seem to have a full service history, you've only got a few stamps in the book. She said, no, definitely full service history. Bless her, she went down to Toyota straight away, because it's all done by Toyota, and had them do a print off of every service. So we've got, where's the dates on these? We had one done on the 21st of the 4th 2022, 2021 the 6th, 2021, what have we got here? 2020, 2019, 2018. There are some in the book as well. Don't know if that's a service. 2017, 2015, 2014. So yeah, full Toyota service history. All the handbooks. So I'll probably write those up in the rest of the service book. Got the lock and wheel nuts there. Yeah, nice little car this. Should be a good little bit of retail this. Don't think I'll be looking to trade this out. Again, just needs a clean there. It's got a nice boot liner in the boot. That's protected the boot. I can open the boot enough. Yeah, it's got a rubber liner in there. Nice little bit of stock that. I'd be happy if I've got part exchanges like this every day, wouldn't I? Pricing wise, I think Auto Trader said about 5.5, maybe even a bit more, which doesn't surprise me because we sold what, it was a 2009 one for like 4 and a bit with low mileage, didn't we, over lockdown? So for this being a 2013, or 63, so mid 2013, new shape, it doesn't surprise me it's that kind of money. Be nice if I could get it in under the 5k mark, but we'll have to see what happens with it. All I'm lacking now again is the sort of sub 4k, well, more sub 5k stock ideally. More small cc sub 5k stock's what I need because it's always selling. Got to get that Hyundai i20 out and get that done because there's a lot of people been asking about that. Get that up for sale. I think that might be one of my next priorities. I think we'll get this one up for sale next because this needs next to nothing. This just needs a very light clean. It's so clean and tidy, this car. I like it when you snag a good deal on a car because it's got something mechanically wrong with it, like a clutch, and you get it turned around as quick as Motorworks did for me, because when the bodywork's bang on, that's the thing that takes the longest, getting the bodywork done. Even just a decent valet can take a whole day. So if it's a super clean car with really good history, and it's just something mechanical like a clutch, I'd almost rather get that in. It's almost a quicker turnaround. Right, anyway, enough chatting. Let's get some stock cleaned up. So just had a call from our subscriber Paul. He's actually put a deposit down on the i20, so that's actually sold as well now. So my need of cheap small cars is absolutely on it, skyrocketed. I shouldn't have sold that flipping Seat Ibiza, should I? Shouldn't have sold that Seat Ibiza Pix I took in. Oh well. Hindsight's 2020, isn't it? So yeah, anybody got any cheap older cars out there? Something like between 2000 and say 8 at the very oldest to sort of 2011 with anywhere up to 100,000 miles on, that that's sitting around the £1,000 to £1,500 mark, you want to get shot of it, you know what to do. Email me. It's all on the website. Email me. You can't see it, can you? Email me or get me on Instagram is always the best. Anyway, let's get that i20 started, don't we?